All right. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to week number 14. That is right, week number 14 of your 7314 class, which is your reference class. As always, I am your professor, Dr. Jace K. Austin, and this one is going to be a shorter one because I am actually going to refer you to another source as opposed to showing you a source myself. So this will probably be a 10-minute check-in video at the most. And really the reason why, just to be honest, the reason why I am making this one kind of short this week is because I am getting married this weekend. So there's a lot going on, a lot of people that I am having travel in from Virginia and North Carolina, a lot of this, that, and the other going on for the last moment prep for the wedding. So we've got all that going on, and so I am going to hop on some other things after I get done with this. But I do a check-in video every week. I try to do a check-in video, health permitting, every week, as long as there is no things such as a sync session going on. So I will also try to have one to next week, which will be the final week, and that'll be my newlywed first week. But yes, because of that, this is going to be a shorter one. However, the last two are generally kind of short anyway. If I decide to show a channel this week, which is what I'm going to do, that makes it shorter for me, because instead of actually demoing something, I'm going to make you aware of a channel that would be better for some demoing or for government documents. So that's what's going on in my world. A few quick course updates. Number one, if you haven't turned your LibGuide in yet and you haven't emailed me, I did have a couple of you who emailed me because you were going through a few emergencies, and that's fine. I've worked those things out with you all. If you did not email me with an emergency if you did not email me with an emergency, then I should have your LibGuide by now. If I do not, then you will be subject to late penalties. However, go ahead and still turn those in because they are an important part of your grade. Looking through these submissions really quick, it looks like I got almost everybody, so I'm not too worried. And I'll be grading those throughout this week and next week as I can. There will be an update coming on the semester-long project. I am talking to Kimberly Muller right now as far as Engineering Village is one thing that I'm trying to get figured out. She is saying that it works on her end. I've had a student report that it wasn't working on her end, and then it wasn't working on my end. So I'm trying to figure out Engineering Village. But there will be an update too, because I will not penalize you all for something that the access is not there for. So I am trying to get that worked out with Kimberly right now to figure out what's going on with that access, and then from there I will make whatever adjustments, which will probably be free points, honestly, in order to make sure that nobody's having to actually stress out over the semester-long project, which you should have been working on throughout the semester, I will say, by the way. But that is due on the 13th, I believe. Actually, let me look that up. Oh, and I'm in the wrong class. So I believe it was the 13th that this semester-long project is due. Let's see. Yes, December 13th. So you still got a couple weeks on that. And then also, you are supposed to be doing your final discussion board this week, and that will be due on December 5th, so Sunday night. Make sure you don't forget that as well. The final discussion board is something where you actually get to present an article of your choosing to the class. So you might want to read that prompt and see what's being required of you there, and then go ahead and turn in your find an article that matches the criteria, and then post that article. Let me know, and I will be reviewing those articles, and some of your articles actually may end up in a future class if I think that they're relevant for that. So that is good to know. And so from there, I am just going to show you a resource that you can pursue on your own. And so this should take not even 5 minutes because I'm not going to go into depth about it. But so I am I've done reference librarianship throughout most of my librarian career, but one thing that I never ever really did was government documents. Government documents over the course of, I believe, 12 or 13 years as a librarian in academic and public libraries. I think I dealt with government documents, I kid you not, 4 times, where I actually had to go and find the paper government document or something of that nature. Otherwise, the government documents that I needed a lot of times were easy to find. They were in places like ERIC, or they were in government web pages and things of that nature. So government documents is a very specialized area that I know nothing about, but I do want to refer you to someone who does and who may be able to help you. And that is, if you go to YouTube, there is this channel that you can look up, Accidental Government Documents Librarian, and that will take you to this page. Help! I am an accidental government information librarian. And if you go to this page, you will see a lot, well, not a lot, but you will see quite a few training videos, and the training videos are actually pretty long, and actually some of the most helpful ones, believe it or not, are some of the older ones as opposed to some of the newer ones. So if you were to go back into some of the things that are 6 years old or earlier, a lot of these can help you learn how to do some of the government documents research that you would need to do. And this is an area where I would be a fish out of complete water. So I'm not going to try to demo anything. I'm just going to refer you to this site and tell you that this is a useful site if you are trying to learn a bit more about government docs librarianship. Now, a few other things, and this is open access, so I want you all to be aware of this. If you are interested in learning a bit more about new government documents, about being a government documents librarian, another thing that you may want to go ahead and Google, and again, this is open access, is the 2018 piece experience of a new government documents librarian. Government documents librarianship has changed a lot due to digitization. It's just changed a lot, like a lot of librarianship has, but this probably as much as anything has. So this is something that's helpful because it's 2018, so it's after the digitization of government documents and materials was in full effect. So this can be helpful, and then I'm going to show you one other thing that you may want to Google if you are looking to do a little bit of self-directed learning here. Okay, so the final thing that I'm going to show you all to do if you are looking to get a little bit more information on what you need to do for learning how to search for government documents and that sort of thing is actually just simply Googling government documents librarianship LibGuides will bring up several LibGuides that can be helpful. I'm not going to go through all of these LibGuides because you all are capable of just Googling this and pulling up the LibGuides yourself. But these LibGuides can be very, very helpful and expose you to some information that you would not have otherwise thought of, and some things that are not in your book and in your assigned readings. But they can be very helpful when you are trying to especially learn this stuff on the fly. And one of my favorites is actually going to be this one here. But a lot of these are good. A lot of these are focused specifically on federal information. So if you're looking for state information, that's something you have to keep in mind as well. But this one was one of my favorites. This one is from Carnegie Mellon University Libraries, and it's for searching various types of government documents. Most of these are federal as well, but as you can see, they've got state things here as well, and even some municipal things. So this is a helpful one, but it's one of many helpful ones. So you might want to look at a variety of LibGuides there. And so I will keep it there. I am going to, like I said, keep this one kind of brief and succinct. So that is it, but I'm giving you plenty of fodder to follow up on if you're serious about this. So if you're serious about it and you have the time, follow up. And that's going to do it for me right there. I am Dr. Jace. We do not know if this variant will cause us to have to quarantine in place again, but do as your health overlords instruct or recommend. And with that, I am out, and I'll see you next week. Have a good one, folks.